Hello everyone, welcome to Wild Woodland Lavender Farm. Today is day 4 of my June on the farm. It is June 6th and I didn't end up making a video yesterday because we were literally busy all day long with graduation stuff and after parties and all that kind of stuff. So by the time the evening came around I was like, nope, I'm not doing anything more. And that's kind of carrying over in today. I had to psych myself up for about half an hour to actually come out and make a video, come out and work on the farm at all. I just wanted to stay in and chill. But because I wanted to make sure you guys have your video every day except Saturdays this month and yesterday, I made myself come out here, and I know I'm going to appreciate it because I will get stuff planted and it's just gonna, you know, check off my list of things to do. So I appreciate the accountability that I have for making these videos so I can actually get stuff done on the farm. That being said, I really don't feel like being out here right now. But I am over here in this area that Brent has plowed with our rototiller, and I'm going to be planting some potatoes and some double red sweet corn, I think is what it's called. And what else? I have some onions to plant and a special kind of bean. So we will be doing that in this area. Now this area right here is actually where I planted Walla sweet onions last year. And somebody commented on that a few weeks ago about how I never did a follow-up on the Walla sweet onions. And I said, yeah, you're right, I haven't. And I mentioned that they didn't turn out very well. Well, then this person goes on to say that, yeah, Walla sweets need, you know, to be grown indoors for 14 or 15 hours of sunlight a day. So Alaska is the best place to grow them, and that's just so wrong. Walla sweet onions are actually grown where I live. I live in Walla Walla, outside of Walla Walla now, but I lived in Walla Walla, and one of my neighbors, former neighbors, was actually a Walla sweet onion farmer. And the reason we have Walla sweet onions is because there's I think it's the sulfur or something in the soil that actually gives the onions that special sweet flavor. And for those of you who get Walla sweet onion starts to grow where you are, I can probably guarantee you they're not actually going to taste the same as Walla sweets grown in this valley because of the composition of our soil and the flavor that it lends the onions. So that being said, here's actually 2 of the onions from last year. What happened last year with the Walla sweets? The problem was being new to the farm in springtime, I didn't have a watering system in place, and right here, the faucet that I had was too far for the one hose that I had, and then the water pressure that I had wasn't enough to really do a good job of watering this area. I should have planted my onions closer for that first year. So the onions just didn't get watered well. It was really hot last year, and even the local farmers had issues with their crops because of the heat that we had here. So I just didn't get a good crop, and I didn't even harvest them. They ended up actually growing again, so, you know, growing small ones again, and they ended up being more like solid onions. So I did harvest some this spring, and I chopped them up, put them in the freezer, that kind of stuff. Got some green onions out of it. So anyway, that's what happened to my Walla sweets that I planted last year. This year, I'm actually not doing Walla sweets. I have, let me get them here. I have the 2 that I showed you just the other day that I got, and then the candy onion I'm going to plant today. So the candy onion is kind of a sweet onion, but it's more of a keeper than the Walla sweet. The Walla sweets have a high sugar content in them, and it makes it so they don't last as long. They're not really good storage onions. The candy onions are on the sweeter side, but they will store a little bit better, I think, than the Walla sweets. So I don't know, I just decided to get these this year along with the other ones that I have. So anyway, let's just get to planting. It's a little breezy out, so I apologize for any wind noise that you might have, but we'll probably put on some music and we'll just enjoy planting. So here we go. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to plant the double red sweet corn. Sorry, it got kind of wet, so it's all blurred out. There's the directions. So the thing about these is it's really cool is the kernels on them are red, kind of like a red popcorn kernels, if you've ever seen those. But the stalks and the husks on these are also red. So not your typical, light green stalk that turns into the, fades into the light brown. These are red. So I thought those were pretty cool. I wanted to give them a try. So I'm gonna put 4 rows right back here. For potatoes, I didn't really buy seed potatoes this year. I just went to the local store and got some potatoes. These were the Baker potatoes, the russet probably. And you can see they just have some great growth on them. I got about 11 of those. Then I got a bag of red potatoes and they're all sprouting nicely. I bought another bag of smaller brown potatoes and only not even half of them sprouted. Some of them just got all wrinkly like this without sending up sprouts. But the ones that I did get sprouts from will be planted here and the other ones we'll just discard. after I plant the potatoes, I have some Jacob's cattle bean seed from Azure Standard. And these are actually, these are actually for my mother-in-law. She used to buy these a long time ago, but she's had a hard time finding them. She likes to make a certain dish, I think a baked bean dish from these, I think. And so she has trouble finding them in stores, so she wanted to grow her own and asked if we could plant them out here on our farm because they don't have a very big piece of property. And I said, sure, we've got the space. So she was actually looking these, she found some in a store somewhere. And I think they were like $12 a pound to buy them. So definitely worth it to plant these because it's not going to cost us $12 a pound to grow these. So these will be planted here as well. Okay, I have a bunch of eggshells that I've crushed, and I'm going to be adding these to the beans just to add a bit of calcium to the soil for them. Well, would you look at that? My garden is starting to fill up. We've got the double sweet red corn, the cattle beans, potatoes, and some onions in. And I feel really accomplished. Even though I didn't really feel like getting out here, feels really good to get something done and get this space filled in with food producing plants. So I still have a lot of space right here and then some space down there. And then a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be tilled under still. So, but today I'm done. I do need to set up the sprinkler to water this whole area. And I also want to take you around and show you some of the pumpkin squash plants that are popping up out of the ground. I planted them a week ago today. So it's nice to see them popping up, seeing all that hard work come to fruition. So that's it for day 4. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.